Maya,
It's Shane.
and this is Tap In Nap. And we are here with Shavar.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming. So, tell us who you are and what you do.
Whew, that's a broad question.
Ooh.
We expect a broad answer.
Exactly.
All
This
right.
is Tap In Nap. Tap in.
You know, I was thinking about this answer, and I do woodworking. So I started a company called Varsity, and I do woodworking, and I don't want to use the word carpenter because I don't know disrespect that craft.
Right.
Because I feel like what I've seen carpenters do, I mean, it's years and years and years.
Definitely.
And I've been doing this for 2 years.
You got to get that like decade under your
Right.
belt.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
a carpenter.
Right. And I feel like it's like a master craft. So right now I'm a woodworker.
You're a woodworker,
Yeah, we'll
okay.
call it that. And I also, I do accent walls. So I'm a wall artist. Yeah, I might have made that up. I don't even know if that's a category, but yes, I'm a wall
It is
artist.
now.
No, like really, like I bet you can search that on like Instagram and like hashtags and things will come up. So yeah.
Oh, I will because I use that hashtag.
You do?
So
I love it.
I'll definitely come.
So what was that hashtag again? Wall artist.
Wall artist.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you come? Like how did this brand come up?
Yeah, so the name obviously has my name in it. So the varsity has part of my name in it. But, you know, I played sports too. So it's kind of a double play on sports as well. And, you know, when you're playing sports growing up, you never want to be on the junior varsity team. You want to be on the varsity team, right?
Most definitely.
And that's what my brand represents is varsity. It's top level, right? It's detailed, it's craftsmanship. So that's kind of where, you know, the part of it came from as well.
So was this something that you always knew that you were going to do with your life, or like was it something that just like, all right, I'm kind of doing this now, and I'm like, yes, this is what I love to do.
No, I kind of fell into it. So during the quarantine, I think we all had time, right?
Buku time.
A little time. So I had seen Elon Musk had given a quote, said that, you know, with YouTube out there, it's a shame that everyone's not using it to their advantage because you can learn anything on YouTube, right?
Listen, I learned how to do a lot of stuff on YouTube. I could be a surgeon from YouTube.
YouTube University.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what I
Call
call
me
it.
Dr. Maya.
Yep, YouTube University. So, you know, I learned how to build patio furniture because I was cheap. You know, I didn't want to actually go out and buy $5,000 set of patio furniture. So I built my first set and I put it up for sale just to see what would happen, and it sold. So I built another set, put it up for sale, and it sold. I'm like, okay, maybe there's something in this, right? But before I did that, I actually did an accent wall in my home. So I was actually telling Shane this the other day. I used to sell out of my garage, and I learned that if I took the stuff around and sold it out of my front room where my accent wall, I could present that. It's kind of like a showroom for cars, right? They put the best cars in the showroom, and that's what I wanted to do is put my best work where everyone can see it, which was in my front room. So the first lady that, you know, she bought something, she said, you know, who did that? And I was like, I do it. She said, would you do that for me? I said, I'll try. I'll try. You know, at that time I wasn't that confident. So like it was my first one. And, you know, I went out there nervous as I don't know what, and we got it done. So yeah, that's kind of the beginning of that story.
Okay, well, let the people know what you started selling. What you told me, taking advantage of opportunities that presented,
So-
even negative.
Yeah. So even going back to quarantine, we all had to work from home.
Right.
And I had to make a desk for myself. And what I learned was that there was a shortage of desks everywhere. Like if you searched any website, there was no desk. So the same thing, I started making desks, and everyone was, you know, on it. Like I need a desk, I need 2 desks. I actually made a matching set for a pair of twins, and they both have them. I get the pictures. It's
That's
one of
so
my favorite
cute.
pictures. Like they have it set up beside each other. But yeah, I kind of took advantage of, I guess, the shortage of, you know, desk in stores, and you know, the rest is history.
See, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to be the what word am I looking for? The innovator. The who? What's the
Most
What's
definitely.
good? What is a negative people are looking at? Well, I'll say this. Usually, if there's negative, nobody's searching for the positive out of that. You know, there's obviously handfuls. You being one of them. You know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And then another project, I work with Thousand Words Gallery with, you know, we noticed our neighborhood. We're trying to get in the community and do things around this neighborhood. So we lived in Fountain Square for a little bit, and we moved to the east side, and we noticed that like no one's doing anything. Like I see the kids out playing, but nobody's getting these kids together to try to get
Right.
them off the streets or
Mm-hmm.
get them gathered. So what we started doing was I put on this turkey bowl. The turkey bowl was just like literally we went out in the field and played football with these kids, and it was great. But what I partnered with him with is we noticed there was you go to Woodruff Place and you see these book boxes. Have you ever seen those before?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I created one of those, and he's creating a gallery right now. So I use my craft to make a book box. So
Oh,
it's like a
wow.
varsity
That's
book box
sweet.
that
That's
hopefully that people can share books and.
And where's that at?
It's not up yet, but it's
Oh,
going to
okay.
be his garden's not finished yet, but it's actually going to be over here on the east side. So once it's done, we'll get that posted on both of our websites.
that is really good. So who inspires you to do what you do?
Man, I would definitely have to say my mom because my mom is super crafty.
Shout out to the moms.
Yeah,
You know.
I actually grew up just me and her, just in a single parent household, and every Christmas we made Christmas wreaths, and we made our ornaments for the tree, and we made different stuff like that. And because she's so crafty, I would even to this day I'll send her a design for a wall. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And like she'll tell me like, well, I probably wouldn't do that. I'm like, I'm doing it anyway. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. But that's where I get my inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
She is so crafty, and just her resilience of always pushing forward and never, I guess, accepting no.
Right. So, do you have a regular 9 to 5? Or...
I do. I work for a fruit company, so I sell.
You
I
sell fruit.
Sell fruit. Yeah. So I think
cool.
probably got one in your hand right now. Piece of the fruit I sell.
Apple for you. Apple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I work for Apple, and yeah, I won't go into too much.
Yeah. We don't want to create any stalkers.
Yeah, I want to keep that 9 to 5 too. Yeah.
Exactly. So, what do you feel like is your biggest challenge in indie as far as your hobby or your 9 to 5 or anything like that?
I think it's, I guess, getting into more people's homes, being able to do the accent walls. I actually don't even really know all the competition out here, but I don't know if people actually know where to find me. Like right now, I'm on social media, I'm on a website, but when I first started, I did some research myself trying to figure out like, what if I wanted an accent wall in my house? Like, where do I go? So I started Google indie, like accent wall indie, or get on social media, and I couldn't find it. So I think one of the biggest challenges is awareness, letting people know that I'm out there. But also I'm trying to figure out how I use my craft to give back, because there's a lot of safety hazards when it comes to dealing with the machinery that I deal with, like saws and stuff like that. I eventually want to get into starting like a woodworking class to teach people that, because if I had learned this when I was younger, who knows? I could be a carpenter now, right? I could call myself that. I could be a master carpenter. So I think one of the challenges is trying to figure out where I fit in the community and how I can help out in that way.
So would you say carpentry is you found your love?
Yeah, I don't think, I think it's always kind of be there. So I just give you a little backstory. I'm from West Virginia, so I'm kind of the backwoods person. So I've always been like the crafty woods lumberjack person.
Mm-hmm.
I just never put it together and made something cool, like something beautiful. But yeah, I would say that definitely, I guess now it's a craft. I've turned my hobby into a craft.
So did you go to college or anything?
I did. I went to Marshall University. Shout out Marshall University. I got my undergrad, got my master's. Has nothing to do with woodworking whatsoever.
So what is it in?
I got my undergrad in business management, and I got my master's in human resources.
You're utilizing that with the 9 to 5, right?
I do use that with the 9 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so I won't say I'm using it with the varsity, but yeah, I use it for 9 to 5.
So would you stop if varsity when varsity gets to that point, or are you planning on stepping away from the 9 to 5? Because you said that's the one you always keep. I don't know if these iPhones getting expensive. You feel me? That discount didn't ever hurt nobody.
Well, I don't think I can get away from the 9 to 5 and go all varsity. I've actually just got my real estate license as well. Okay. So I kind of want to go into that and make varsity part of that. So if I could sell a home and offer that, that's kind of double dipping.
Oh, most
Hey,
definitely.
Bumped, you better just slap it up and be
Let
like,
me tell you what
don't paint
all I
it
can
yet.
do for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
don't
already
paint
came
it.
here.
Just put it up. And
Yeah.
add 5, 10 bands to the price.
What do you do in your free time? Do you have free time?
That was gonna be that was my next. I don't have free time. I think the little time that I get, I do work on my house, so I enjoy that. I enjoy like doing landscaping around my house. I built a pergola. You was there not too long ago and seeing that like I completely transformed my backyard. So I think I find peace and joy into like putting back into my house and
I'd call that free time. Yeah, that's what you choose to do with it.
yeah. I mean, I guess.
I wish more people was like that. Be a lot less dirty homes.
Yeah, it's not clean. I just, I do some
Boy,
landscaping.
your stuff is clean. Don't even let this man lie to you right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
As far as different projects, what are some things that you want to see yourself do next? What's next? What's bigger? What's better? Or what do you see yourself doing next?
Yeah, if I think of, we have this concept called design thinking at my 9 to 5, and that's where you start big, like the big idea, and then you kind of scale it down to something that's more realistic. And I think the big idea would be to get on Netflix and have a TV show. Like I don't see that out of the realm of possibility of them coming to Indy and me being the guy with the dope shoes doing accent walls, right? So on
God,
Netflix.
check out the shoes.
Well, yeah, I just want
Yeah, I was gonna say,
check out the socks.
I was gonna say, I don't know
Socks.
what's your favorite part of a fit, man. Like, is it the
clearly
shoes, socks?
Well, it can be both, right? I think it goes
Footwear.
hand in hand. Yeah, it's
Right,
footwear.
okay.
I think you can really have on like a busted outfit, and the shoes can just be everything, right? Man, Shane want to show his shoes off.
Oh no, I'll show my busted fit with the shoes.
I wear Crocs. That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I like Crocs too, but yeah, I like to express myself through my shoes, but also my socks too. So I am a cookie monster. I love cookies. I can never say no.
That's why them skinny jeans. I'm telling you, boy.
No, I can say no to those. They said no to me, actually. They don't fit.
I'm weak. I'm weak. So what do you feel like the easiest part of being you is?
I mean, I can't be anybody else, right? Like, so, I mean, I've never tried to be anyone than myself. I think a lot of people around me allow me to be myself. I surround myself with really good people that make me comfortable enough to be myself, whether that's the goofy me, whether that's the serious me, the business me, the creative me that's doing walls. So, like, I think what really allows me to be myself is the people I surround myself with.
That right there is very important. And do you feel like you find people that fill into you, or do you find yourself more filling into other people, or is it equal?
I think it's equal. I'm not even sure I would get along with myself if I met myself because I don't know really how to explain that more than like I don't know if any of us would get along with ourselves, right? Because I think I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it too much, but I've always thought about like, dang, if I met myself, would I get along with myself? Because sometimes I'm too passive. Like, for instance, I take, like, I'm always too understanding when I shouldn't be.
So you be sitting there trying to
Speaking
figure out
to
with
the
yourself. So
choir.
what we about to eat? I don't care. I don't care neither. I don't
Or
care.
yeah,
Into
or
the
take,
choir.
like, I'm very, like, if we're going out to eat, I care more about, like, are you going to enjoy yourself? Because I'll figure it out. I'll find it.
That's me. I feel you
Yeah.
on that. Yes.
I'm
I'll
telling
figure
you.
it out.
Hey,
yeah.
when you get to that point though, because I had to get to this point. If you're okay, if you just become okay with making decisions based on yourself, but you gave that option, people will jump on that quick.
Yeah. Was that me?
See, niggas don't turn their phones on silent. You see, we got to deal with.
Oh, I'm weak.
And he want a Netflix show. Oh, somebody kept pressing that button, and it was like, I need to get
that's
a
why I
hold
had
of
to
you,
put mine
bro.
on silent and on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off all the way.
No,
I
it's all good.
apologize.
It's all
That's
good.
hilarious. Hey, that ringtone though.
Yeah,
I love
that
it.
Mario?
Yeah.
I should have let it ride.
Most
One quick break.
definitely.
Yeah, I should have let it ride.
So when you first decided to get into it, was it due to having an abundant amount of free time, or were you like you had already been working on your crib, you kind of already had a somewhat of a grip on it, but you weren't sure if it was something you wanted to really plunge into?
Yeah, I don't think when I first started, actually, I know when I first started, I didn't plan on it to be a business. It was kind of just like, let me start my own home. So I did start with the accent wall in my house, which I think still to this day is probably a fan favorite. Every time I repost it, everybody's like,
Is
"That's
that the black one?
no, that's the white one that you seen when you came over
Oh, oh, with
here."
the like the frames, and
Yeah,
then when
yeah,
you
it's
go,
kind of diagonal. And it's
yeah.
got and that was I really freestyled that. I mean, it probably took me 3 or 4 days to do, which I do a wall in a couple hours now. But yeah, when I first started, it was really let me try this in my own home, and then like it kind of spiraled into like maybe I can make a business out of this. So
Okay. So what would jumping into the business, was it like, did you hit the official path first, or did you go, well, I'm gonna just sell some stuff, try to get some cash, and then okay, well maybe this could work.
yeah, so I started with Facebook Marketplace. I think
Oh
Hey,
wow,
you can
really?
find
you find
bomb stuff on there.
you can find people find my bomb stuff on there.
Yeah,
So
hell
Yes.
yeah.
no, yeah, I started with Facebook Marketplace, and again, a lot of people had time during quarantine, so that it really blew up. I feel like that's where people were shopping the most is Facebook Marketplace.
Mm.
Since then, like I can't sell anything on there, but that's where I started. And I think I shared the story with you too, like the way I started with tools. So I had two tools. I had a drill and I had a saw. There was a hand me down, and I Googled what can I build with these two tools, and I built that, and then I sold it, and then I bought another tool. So I kept reinvesting in myself by the stuff that I sold. So I mean, if anyone wants to get inspired, look around and see what kind of tools you have at home
Can
now.
we
See, I
just
never
talk
would have
about
thought
that
about
real
that.
Okay,
quick?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm here for it.
you literally had these two things and you were self-sufficient enough to say, I'm going to Google this and figure out what I'm going to do. Like, that in itself is the 10% that a lot of people don't understand. Like, if you just give this 10%, okay, I got these two things, I put them together, like, what am I going to do next? And then you actually go for it. Like, and that in itself to me is really dope. So, do you feel like, is that something that you would tell people like, oh yeah, if you have these two things, or do you feel like that just worked for you?
No, I feel like if you have the drive and you want to get it done, you'll figure out a way. I do want to, you said the drive. I also want to throw in there that I was cheap too. So, and I was broke and I didn't want to go out and buy the extra tools. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, for sure, I think it was me being driven to say, like, okay, I can do something. Like, this stuff has been collecting dust. I can do something with this. So, yeah, I think if you look around and you find some stuff just laying around and you think it's nothing, like
Mm-hmm.
Google it. I guarantee you can find something.
That's the thing. It's not about being cheap. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's, you want to start up a business of any kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you just have the funds to be able to dump into it, which that's like being given a new car versus buying a new car. Which one you gonna take care of more? You know what I'm saying? You actually had to one by one by one. You know, somebody didn't just say, "Hey, I'm done with this equipment. I got new stuff, so here." It probably just would have sat there. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure. And so I got the opportunity to go back to my alma mater, Marshall, and speak to the football team. So they're trying to get this thing together where there's successful people out there, and they want to give them kind of a launching pad when they
Mm-hmm.
when they finish football, because there's a life after football, but these kids don't know that,
Say
right?
that one more time. That is a gem that we need to tap in on.
I got you.
There is what?
There is definitely life after sports in general.
Yes.
I don't want to say just football in a pigeonhole and just say just football. There's life after sports, and these kids don't do that. So I was once that kid that thought I was going to make it to the NBA, the NFL. Everyone is, right?
No,
And
most definitely.
and when you get older, you start realizing, like, okay, it might not be for me. So I need a plan B, right? In which in my when I played football, I actually gave a speech. It was about student athlete, and I said student athlete, not athlete student. So I was like, we're here first to be students. I say secure that degree because they can't take that away from you. And then if football works out, it does. But so I got the opportunity to go back and kind of deliver this message again. And I'm surprised that a lot of these kids have a head start already with starting their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids that didn't, they don't think it's possible. So I kind of told them, like, it doesn't cost that much to start a business. Like, I don't think they know the process, and that's kind of where I was when I first started. When you think start a business, you think, oh, I gotta have employees, I gotta have a building, I gotta have all this equipment, I gotta have all this money to start up. Start a business is start with the resources you currently have, and then figure it out. And that's kind of what I did.
I want to piggyback off of that real quick. Do you feel like everyone, are you one of those people like everyone should go out and start their business, or do you feel like there should be the people who start the businesses and then like the people that maybe I don't know
Work for them.
work
No.
for them? I'm trying to be nice about it.
Bump that, ain't no
Like
nice.
yeah, like work for them because I mean if we look around even at different jobs, whether they're high jobs or low jobs, there's definitely people you're like, should you be even doing this?
Yeah, no. I get that, and I want to go back to something. I can't remember who asked me as did I use my degree in the business that I'm using?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I have to change my answer because yes, because I had a business degree, so I understood what it took to kind of be successful. But now to answer your question, I don't think anyone should be deterred from starting a business if they don't have a business degree. I think you should consult somebody that has that knowledge, right?
Right.
So maybe you don't go out and just start it immediately, but you can ask somebody that has that knowledge or has done it because there's again YouTube University. You can
Hey.
learn
My alma mater.
anything from YouTube. You can learn business. You can learn from somebody that's doing it now.
Right.
And that was another piece of advice I gave to these young football players is like, use your resources. Go talk to somebody that's doing what you want to do now and learn from them.
When you realize that, football wasn't going to be your one and only or your, the thing, did that kind of make you depressed or sad for a while, or were you just like, you know what? I mean, I knew it would come to an end type of thing.
No, I don't think I don't think it's going to come to an end until it does, like
Right.
or right before it does. I think so. I'm very analytical when it comes to statistics, and my coach actually dropped this knowledge on me. He told me that only 4% of people that play college football go into the NFL. And of course, I still thought I was in that 4%. So I was like,
Definitely.
cool, coach, you ain't telling me nothing.
You ain't telling me nothing.
Nothing at all. But I also looked at the amount of people and how like long they stay in there. And, I had friends that went on to the NFL, got hurt, and didn't have a fallback.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be that guy. So I wanted to make sure, again, that was something that no one can take away from me. You can't take that degree away from me. I got it. Even though I would like to take my receipt and get a refund for all the money I spent, they still can't. They can't take that away from me.
Most definitely. Okay.
If you could go back, would you study something else?
Ooh.
And what would you study?
Oof, that's tough. Probably something more like engineering. I think that would probably it would definitely help me in the craft, but I think it's also something more. You have so many avenues, so many ways you can go with like engineering. It's funny. I think most people may answer doctor, but I actually did a little research on that. So, well, all the time, every time I go to the doctor, I always ask like, how long have you been a doctor? 15, 20 years. If you had to go back and do it again, would you do it? Nope. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, even though they're making all this money, they don't have the time to spend the money.
Mm-hmm.
And like time is something you can't get back. It's very
That's
precious.
very true.
So I'm very fortunate. I would say like maybe I would go back and just learn engineering just because I'm interested in that. But I don't think I would change anything about my path and how I got to where I'm at.
Oh yeah, that's one thing you can do, man. Is,
Right.
So dwelling on that is half people's problem.
Yeah.
Wow, I would have done this or should have done this instead of figuring out how to maneuver with what you got.
Yeah.
To get back to where you need to be.
Yeah, I think I took the hard way, and I think that's where I learned the most. It wasn't like the end goal. Like I'm still not at the end, obviously, but it's the journey, and I think that I wouldn't change anything about that.
What was your biggest trial or tribulation coming to where you are today?
Man, that's so tough. Maybe I guess seeing other people, and I don't even know this to be true, but growing up with a single parent, I always seen people with two parents and wonder like if like would have been so much different, or would I've had like a better life. And now I look back and I'm like, no way, because I wouldn't have learned like the hard work that my mom, instilled in me. Like she was working multiple jobs. I'm sure we all had that story. Like she was working multiple jobs, and she put me first, and it was like I don't know. I wouldn't change that.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you because I definitely had times like that growing up. Like, would it been different if they would have? Well, my parents got divorced when I was younger. Would it have been different had they just stayed together? What does that look like? And for the longest, I don't know if this was true for you or anything. Like, I was like angry. Like, why is everybody else like getting to go home with their like two parents? Like, I want my two parents. You feel me? So I don't know. So that was definitely a hurdle too. So
Yeah, and as a guy, like growing up playing sports, I nobody wanted to be out there playing football with their mom or baseball. But I tell you what, my mom might have been able to go pro if they let her go football.
that's what I'm
Oh,
talking.
really?
That's what I'm talking
For
Man.
real,
about.
I
Shout
learned a
out to your
lot.
mom.
Oh, for sure, she was an all around athlete, buddy. Like we played sports that probably most. I'm gonna just say it. Black kids didn't play growing up. Tennis.
That's what I like to hear.
I,
That's what I
we
like to hear.
played. We did everything. My mom. It was, again. It was. We found a way. Like
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have the money, but we found some hand me down rackets and went out and played tennis.
You have to be well rounded. That's a big thing that I like to preach to young and old. You have to be well rounded, and to think that you're gonna just be tunnel vision or stay in one box is just wild to me. So that's a good thing that I appreciate about my mom too. Like she made sure that we were well rounded. So I like that. It's
1,000%. I'll
mm-hmm.
tell you another story about my mom. Is so after I think it was after a football game, I wanted to quit, and my mom said, "Yeah, you can do it." And I'm like, "That's not what I expected here." I'm thinking, "You ain't quitting. I put all this money into it, blah blah." She's like, "You can quit, but you ain't never going. You're never gonna play again. Like if you quit, you're not going back. You're not gonna be a quitter. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I grew up with some kids that were allowed to quit sports because they didn't play or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then I seen a pattern. Like as we got older, they was quitting these teams. And I am so thankful for my mom that she never let me quit. And I feel like that's where I'm at because there's so many times, especially even doing woodworking, that I wanted to quit. Like I've gotten to a job halfway through the job and wanted to quit because I'm like, I can't figure this out. Like I can't because there's a lot of math involved. There's a lot of like angles and things like that. And I have never, to this day, I've never quit anything because her.
Yes. And when you bring up math and woodworking, I'm just like, math part would have got your table would have looked like this. There would have been one.
Can you
long,
pass the salt?
right?
Yeah.
Slide it down too.
Hey, YouTube University again. Man, I learned angles. I bet customers probably think I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes when I'm Googling. I'm like, how do I find this angle of these steps?
Right. I was gonna say, was that hard for you? Or like, were you like always like good at math or fairly decent at math? Or
Yeah, I always actually love math. And
I wish I could have been like that.
no.
I'm a writer.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I wish the opposite. I wish I could write, but
Mhm.
yeah, no, I love math growing up, but I never thought that it would be something I would use because
Mhm.
everybody always said that I'll never use this. I'll never use trigonometry.
Pythagorean theorem. What
No,
is
no,
that?
I used it last week.
I was gonna
Did you
say, yeah.
really?
I
Well,
swear.
yeah, that's the.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah, I did because I had two angles. Had to find the third one on these steps, and I was like, how do I?
Listen.
There we go. Hey, pay attention to most. I feel like Pythagorean theorem was pretty early. If you get to trig, unless you trying to make, I don't even know. See, I couldn't even tell you what you use it for.
I don't know. I'm sure next week I'll probably use it.
I believe it. I believe it.
So I had to build a wooden sphere. You see?
Yeah.
Oh
So,
man, that is wild. That's
I-
wild.
if you could build
Here we go.
one thing for one person, what would it be?
Again, I'm gonna do design thinking. I would love to build a house, and if I could,
Like a basic house or like
No,
a
basic.
pool?
Basic.
that's not.
This
in my
varsity.
vocabulary.
This
Wait,
ain't
say it
JV.
again.
Yeah,
say
this
it.
is varsity.
Basic is not what?
It's not in my vocabulary. I don't even know how to spell it. No. I want to do something like, you driving down the street and everybody, but I also wanted to be practical. You walk in and like everything makes sense. It's like, oh man, I wish I had that in my house.
You want that Hey Arnold joint where boy flip down
Yeah, I want.
the couch?
Yeah, I want like like the steps not even to be there, and then like when I start walking, they just start appearing as I go down.
That would be hard. Hey, you better chill, bro. Somebody about to take your idea.
That would trip me out.
Trademark.
Trademark. Trademark.
Trademark.
Oh, so that would be a house for yourself?
I wouldn't be selfish. I'd share. I could build that for somebody else. My house would be doper than theirs, but but I would do that. If you want me to build your house, I build your house. It just won't be as dope as mine.
Just won't be so it'll be like levels to your dopeness.
1000%. You won't have
Hey.
those steps. You're gonna have some basics.
You got to
steps.
put the steps in and then sue them for the house. No, I'm just kidding.
Trademark.
Right.
For
No, I
everybody.
get royalties every time they walk down.
Every
them,
time.
Imagine.
They
You
take
just
the
get
elevator.
ding.
I'm here for this.
What
I am here for this.
the elevator. You building an elevator in there?
No,
though?
I don't build the elevator. I don't do that part.
What's one gem or piece of advice that you can give anybody who's gonna look at our video and be like, "What I want something from this." What's one piece of advice?
Wow. I would say I'll go back to using your resources. So again, we'll go back to first the tools. So like, you never know what you have around. Use your resources, but I think also people wise, I personally know a lot of people. Like I'm not that great at video, but I know Shane is. So using your resources to help you in areas that you may not be so confident in.
That right there, because a lot of people are afraid to be like, "I need help."
Yeah, no,
Do-
I'm like that. Well, to a certain extent, like I
Really?
get to a point, but I'll try it 1,000 times myself before I ask for help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if
Mhm.
I'll ever get over that, but yeah, but I do at least have the people I know on that 1,001 time. Like, okay, I need to go ask Shane, or I need to go ask Chris, or I need to go ask this person because they are the expert in that. So
See, and that's where I feel like there's a fine line between people not wanting to have to give credit in the end. You know what I'm saying? Where some people that are more okay. Not that it seems like with your background growing up, like it was get it done, figure out how to move past this hurdle. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of people bang their heads and give up instead of saying, "Hey,
Most
I
definitely.
need some help."
Yeah.
Because in the long run, they don't want to be like, "Well, yeah, I got here, but if it wasn't for this person, or if it wasn't for, there's people on this show that, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at now,
Right.
with Canal Squad. The videos that I was able to shoot for them, now I had fitness clients. Hey, we want a video. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So,
I heard a quote. Sorry to cut you
no,
off.
no.
I heard a quote, and it was like, "It's amazing what you can get accomplished if you don't care who gets the credit." And
On God.
I mean,
On
That was
God.
a good one. That's a good one.
yeah, and I feel like if you don't worry about like you getting the credit for doing the work, and that the work just gets done, you can get so much done.
Yes, I be preaching that in my day-to-day shit, man. It's just like, who cares? Just let's get it done. Because the funny thing is a lot of the people behind the scenes that people don't know, them are the niggas making the dollars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I stress that to the kids I work with all the time. Like, you all want to be they want to be in music, or they want to be the lead or anything. I'm like, yes, I 100% like go for it, but don't be discouraged if it doesn't pan out that way, because you can get money in my favorite thing, ghostwriting. Like you can get money. That's where the money is.
real money.
That is where the money is.
Make more
1000%.
off of that than you will doing shows.
What they say, the moon's not the moon without the sun, the shine of the sun. It's just a reflection of the sun.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Sound right. Sound
Sound
good.
good.
I don't know. I was
Yeah,
trying
we
to be
can give it some
prophetic.
snaps.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, so I have Instagram at Shop Varsity, spelled VARCITY, like city. I do have a website as well. It's www.shopvarsity.com. I'm on Facebook for people that only use Facebook as well. So it's again
Yep.
under Varsity. And you can find me over here on the east side because I know you mad
I'm
about
just kidding.
that.
I just want somebody to come out west. We need things on the west side.
That's
That's all
cool.
right. I'll be that person
Nah,
for y'all. Don't even worry.
I did some walls out there, so I'm starting to like the west side a little bit too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to our show, Shavar.
Thank
We
you for having
really
me.
appreciate it. You dropped some really great gems. And thank you all for watching. I'm Maya.
This Shane.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this is Tap and Nap.
Yeah. Right on, Playboy.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Already,
you so
man.
much.
Already.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hell yeah. See you next weekend.